Well, in some other news tonight, daily expenses can add up quickly, leaving people making minimum wage in a tough spot. That's why the Minnesota State Legislature is working to pass a bill that would raise the state's minimum wage by more than $1. News 8's Carrie Vick joins us now with how an increase could affect local businesses.
Lou, Minnesota's minimum wage is at $6.50 an hour. If the proposed bill passes, it would bump it up to $7.50 an hour. And while it sounds like a big jump, economists say it may have little impact on workers' wallets. Democrats are back in full control of the Minnesota State Legislature, and they're targeting a minimum wage increase as a top priority. But Winona State economics professor Don Salyards says it only sounds good in theory.
Everybody would like to make $5 more, but it has a negative impact. It's a cost. It's like a tax. It's a cost on employers, and then they have to cut back.
Job loss is a side effect of a significant minimum wage increase, but Salyard says Minnesota's proposed bill that would raise the minimum wage to $7.50 an hour will likely have little impact, positive or negative. That's because most unskilled workers are already making more than the federal or state minimum wage.
I think the equilibrium wage for unskilled workers is already $7.50 to $8 an hour. So if you were going to impact employment and have people laid off, they'd have to have a minimum wage of $8, $9 an hour. So I think it'll have really no effect on the market.
So yarn comes like this.
Just down the street at Yarnology, owner Gabby Peterson says the same.
We don't have anyone making less than that.
Okay.
But I'm assuming it's part of a process.
But it's the process that has Peterson concerned. The bill would make future increases automatic and linked to inflation.
It's a little bit of a challenge for budgeting and for short-range and long-range planning as a business owner, because we don't know exactly where it would head. Those things always make business owners nervous.
So if it has little impact on businesses and little benefit for workers, why bother with the bill at all?
It's probably a political thing to sound good for the next election cycle. And you can say to the lower wage workers, we're on your side. It's probably a Democratic proposal. You can pretty much predict that. So we're on your side. We wanted to raise your minimum wage. And in reality, it won't really affect anybody because they're not raising it enough.
The minimum wage in Minnesota last went up in 2005. If the bill is passed, it would go into effect at the beginning of August.
All right, thanks a lot, Carrie. Now, Wisconsin's minimum wage is the same as the federal minimum wage at $7.25 an hour.